guys, welcome back. Whenever we talk about data, we must consider about the security. While dealing with data, we always focus on securing our secret and sensitive information like passwords, PINs, and DB credentials, and etc. In Ansible also, while executing the playbook, we must secure our secrets. So in this video, we'll see how we can secure our sensitive information using AnsibleVault. I'll guide you step by step to set up the vault in our Ansible server. So before doing the exercise, let's first get some understanding on AnsibleVault. Vault is used to encrypt values and data structures within the Ansible projects. It provides the ability to secure any secrets or sensitive data that is necessary to run Ansible plays successfully but should not be publicly visible, such as private keys, passwords, DB credentials, etc. Ansible automatically decrypts the vault encrypted content at runtime when the key is provided. AnsibleVault is a command line tool which is used on the Ansible server. So these are the tasks we can see which AnsibleVault does. It encrypts an existing important files, decrypt an encrypted file, views an encrypted file without breaking the encryption, edit an encrypted file, and maintain its encryption and secret keys and password. It creates a new encrypted file. We can reset the password already of an already encrypted file. So how does AnsibleVault work? AnsibleVault does not implement its own cryptographic functions but uses an external Python toolkit. So you must have the Python installed in your system, which is also a prerequisite for working Ansible environment. Files are protected with symmetric encryption using AES-256 with a password as the secret key. Using AnsibleVault with option edit will always rewrite the file and can create issues when you have some version control system on the same files. So better to use option view when you want to only read the encrypted file. So here is the list of commands which we are going to use in AnsibleVault. So the command is AnsibleVault and create to create a new encrypted vault or file, and to edit the vault file we can use AnsibleVault edit, and to change the vault password we can use the rekey command. To encrypt the file we can use encrypt, to decrypt a file we can use decrypt, and to view the encrypted file as read only, so we can just use AnsibleVault view. So these are the commands we are going to use in our AnsibleVault demo. So let's start doing the project. I have connected to my Ansible server and I have created already a playbook to execute. So let me go through with this playbook. I have kept this playbook under the roles. I have created a roles of MySQL task main.yaml. So in this file, if I go job, we'll see I have just used few tasks to install MySQL, okay, and to do some configurations there. And then we can see here being used the variables and the passwords to change the root password and the DB credentials. So our main aim is in this AnsibleVault to learn how we can use this DB passwords secretly, right? How we can encrypt the passwords and cannot be visible to anybody. So this is the playbook. I'm not going to explain on this playbook. I hope you already been aware about and have knowledge on the writing the playbooks and all. So we are focusing on the AnsibleVault. So here you can see I have created the variables called DB user, DB passwords, and DB name and all this. So if I go back and to my group vars folder, okay, and it's just open the file called vars in group vars all and vars. So here I have kept these variables db underscore name, db underscore user, and db underscore password. So here we can see here the db password is completely visible to our eyes, right? Anyone can mislead these passwords if he or she gets it. So better we need to hide this password or the secret or sensitive information using the vault. So I'll show you how we can use the Ansible Vault to create and encrypt our passwords and use it. Okay, so this is the variable file where we are going to declare the vault files. Now let's go back here, and in this folder let me go to the groups var folder, groups var all. Okay, and if I just let me clear it, so here we have the variables file called vars. Now let me show you how we can create the vault files. So we can use AnsibleVault create and then the vault file name. So here suppose I give the vault file name as vault. So hit enter. So you have to give a vault password. So whenever you need to edit or need to view something, so you have to use this password to encrypt, decrypt, or view your vault keys or vault password. So you have to just provide a password for this. I give it. Now, so in this vault file, so we are going to keep our password. So suppose this will be as actually YAML file, so you have to write it down. So I'll just write the variables called, suppose I'll use as vault underscore db underscore pass colon, and just pass the password here. Suppose it is Sunday at 2022. So this is the password. I saved it into the vault. Okay. Now let's save this file. So you can see here our vault is created. If I do ls7l here, I can see here the vault file is created. And if you want to see this vault file, you will see as it is as a cat vault. You see it. See, it is the file is encrypted. You cannot view the password whatever we stored under this vault. So how we can see the password and edit it? So you want to view the passwords on read only, so you can use Ansible -vault view, then the file name is vault. See, then it's just asking you to give the vault password in order to view the key, right? So let's use run G. See, here I just gave the vault key or vault password to get the credentials stored under this vault. Now if you want to edit it, suppose there is some issues and you want to edit and the password changed and you want to change something, then you can use Ansible-vault edit and the file name. Okay. So again, you have to provide the vault key or password. Now, see, we are landed into the editor via editor. So you can just, if you want to edit anything, you can just edit the file here. Okay. So I don't want to edit anything. Let's come out from here. Now you saw how we can create the vault, and you can view the vault, and you can just edit it in case it is required. Now, so every time whenever we view the vault credentials, the keys inside the vault, or edit it, what you have to do, you have to provide the vault password in order to access the information you stored in the vault. So how we can save this vault password in a hidden file, and then we'll see how without giving the password how we can access it. So if you go first, what you have to do, you have to store the vault password in a hidden file. So always remember, you don't store the password and hidden files which you may need to put into your GitHub remote repositories, right? So never put those passwords in that folder, which folder you may need to put in your remote repository. Instead, you can put it in a different place, which folder you don't want to store in your repository. Suppose I'll just keep this one in my home directory. Is suppose home EC2 user, and here I'll just create a file called dot hidden file. In Unix it starts with dot, so db underscore secret underscore db secret underscore. I can just give vault, sorry, I can just give dot vault underscore pass, okay, vault password. So just keep the password here. Suppose my password I give it as Ranjit, sorry, give us Ranjit at 2022. So this is the password which I used to edit and open and view the vault. I saved it. So it is a hidden file dot vault password. So I need to provide this file name in Ansible.cfg file. So just go to your etc Ansible, right? And here just open your Ansible.cfg. Suppose I'll use sudo vi Ansible. Okay, open it. And here, if I just search for vault password file, you can see here we have this vault password file. So we have to provide file name. It's called vault password file. So I don't want to edit it. Let's go ahead and create one line here equal to, and just give the path. So in my case, I have it is in situ -user slash and dot vault underscore pass. So this is the file where I have stored the vault password. Now let's save it. Okay. Now if I go ahead and edit or view the vault, let's see whether it is asking for vault password or not. So let's go to group vars, and if I use Ansible -vault view vault file name, see, it no more asking me the vault password. It directly gets and it directly shows me the content inside the vault. So now you know how we can store the vault password in a secret in hidden file, and how we can put into that in our Ansible.cfg Ansible configurations file. Good. Now let's go ahead and add that vault variable in our vars file. Okay, so let's go where I'll just use group var all, and we have this vars file. So what we have to do, instead of this password, we'll just replace the vault variable here. So just let me remove. So how we'll add this vault variable here? We'll just add double quote, and here just put we have to use the Ninja template here to access or call this variable here, to define this db password with the vault db pass which we had created in the vault. So with vault underscore db underscore pass. So this is the vault password we are giving here. Now the password is no more visible to our eyes. Okay, so this password, this variable is under this vault, and these values being assigned to this one will be called here. Now let me save this file. So before executing the playbook, let me again go through the playbooks and show you what are the other things being involved in this database creation and setup. So if I go to our roles folder, okay, MySQL task main.yaml, and here I was just going through you to change this root password, and I was showing you this db user variables, and now this db underscore password, which will be called from the vars file, and the vars file also being defined with the vault underscore db underscore pass, that is encrypted. The password will automatically get called here. Okay, now we can see here after this changing the root password after the installation, so I have changed the root password in order to connect to the database. Also being use this create database to create a database. So this db user, and you can see the db name was given in the vars file in the variable like DevOps class. And if you see here, after this database is created, I have dumped a file, right? Copy database dump file. So there is a file, you could have seen this db slash devops class.sql file, which contains to create a table. And I'm just going to copy this one into the team directory of that newly created db server. After that, I have used this MySQL db module to import the file which is copied to the target location. Okay, let me just go through with this DevOps class.sql. If I go back here to our DB folder, okay, so here in this folder, you can see we have this DB folder available here. So just go to the DB folder, and here we'll find this DevOps class.sql. Cat and see, you can see here, I've just used the SQL statement to create the table user. Okay, so when we copy this one and execute this Ansible playbook, it will copy this particular DevOps called the SQL dump file into the newly created server and execute it. So now let's go ahead and execute the playbook. Okay, so before executing the playbook, let me get the server details and put it into the hosts file. So I have this static inventory file. So let me delete this one, and let me add the IP address. So I have one server created as named as DB server, and this is a freshly newly created EC2 instance, and I'm just going to use this server to install this MySQL and use I'll just use MySQL into the demonstrations. Okay, so let me just put this DB server here and save it. Okay, so so I'm using, if you have seen here my configuration, Ansible configuration file, there I have used the private key file to connect the newly created server on the same host, okay, same account. Now let me just go back here. What I'll do here, before doing that, let me just do a ping, a simple ping, whether we have access to this server or not. So we can use Ansible -im ping and just suppose give all. So we can see here it is success. That means we can able to connect to our DB server, okay, to our newly created server. So now what I'll do, let me go ahead and just execute the playbook. So my playbook is under the roles folder, right? I have created the roles. So let me create, use that one, Ansible playbook. Okay, so I'll just use the path. It is in roles, MySQL, task, and you have to not exactly the playbook, you have to execute the site.yaml. Okay, so I have created the site.yaml because as I have kept in the role. So if I go to this, just do the cat roles and site.yaml file. So I've called here, you can see here, this is the main file which you need to execute in case of if you're using roles. You must understand and should be aware about that, right? So here I'm just executing the roles MySQL. So I need to execute and execute this playbook, right? So use Ansible hyphen playbook and the roles, then it should be site.yaml. Good. So everything hopefully fine, and we set off all the required things in Ansible that configurations file, and we created our vault. So let's see whether that password, whatever is encrypted, is being used in our playbook in order to create the database, and we can see whether the database can be able to access or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute it. See, the playbook is completed. So what it says okay, 11 and changed 9 things. So all the things have been completed successfully. So what we can do now, let's go ahead and check whether the database has successfully been created, MySQL has been installed, and the required database has been successfully created or not. Now, if we can go and log into the database server, we can see the MySQL has already been installed, and it would have created the database and tables. Let's go ahead and log in. So I'll just connect to a new tab here. Let's go and crash. If I do connect to the server, so I connected here. Now if I do MySQL, if I use MySQL hyphen u, so the user was given as Ranjit, right? Hyphen p, and the password it was given as Sunday@2022. See, I can able to connect to the database server. That means the MySQL was installed successfully and the database has been created. So now if I go and see, so databases, sorry, it is so databases. Now you can see our DevOps class, the database, whatever is given here in the vars file. Okay, in the vars file, if I do here, just do vi and to vars. Sorry, just to go a little back, vi to vars all, and in the vars file, if you see here, the DB name was given as DevOps class. Okay, so here the database is created successfully, DB class. Let me go through this DB DevOps class database and see whether the user table is created or not. So use database is changed. So if I do show tables here, so there is a typo. If I do show tables, see, we have this user table is created. Now we can see how we can use this Ansible Vault to encrypt our password, DB password, and encrypt our sensitive information and use in Ansible and execute the playbooks. Hope you understood clearly how we can use Ansible Vault in our Ansible playbook to secure our data and execute them. If you have any doubt or any concerns, please do write me in the comment section below. I'll try to answer your queries. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe now so you'll get notified when I add more videos on my channel. Thank you.